Welcome back to the show. We are at the Hotel Grand Pacific on their wonderful patio, and we're going to make a bacon martini.
Yeah, this may be one of the greatest combinations I have ever heard of, and we'll get to that in a second. But first of all, Victoria is having an event called Taste, Victoria's Food and Wine Festival, July 21st to the 24th, and the Hotel Grand Pacific is throwing a little something called Swine and Vine. Janis Goard joining us, Director of Food and Beverage Services here at the Hotel Grand Pacific. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Tell us about swine and vine. This sounds delicious.
Who do I need to hug?
Pretty much me. Okay, that's the way to go. No, this is kind of like the antithesis to a winemaker's dinner. So, you know, just kind of taking the pomp and elitism out of a very serious wine and food event and just having a heck of a lot of fun on a patio.
And you guys have done this a couple years in a row?
This is our third year.
And you do the full suckling, like just over there.
Yeah, he spins
21st.
away quite happily over there. About half an hour into the event, we carve them up and people start eating piggy goodness.
So suckling pig coupled with the vine. So explain the vine part.
BC obviously produces a lot of wine, but some of the wines on the island are a little bit lesser known. So that's the area that we're highlighting. It's basically local as much as possible.
And speaking of local, tell us about Silk Road Tea and what we're going to be doing today.
Sure. Well, Silk Road is a local tea company. The owner is Daniela Kubelik, and she is a tea master, which is basically like being a sommelier but for tea. And she's been fantastic. She's been working with us for the last year or so, training our staff, coming on site and actually training our staff on proper tea service for Asian teas and that kind of thing.
How much fun has this been for you? I mean, just to find these local connections and really, I mean, because from, you know, in Vancouver, obviously we've got a lot of local resources, but Victoria and the whole island, my goodness, you guys.
It's such a tight-knit community, and I mean, honestly, half of the fun in doing anything food and beverage related is just the people that you're meeting and the connections that you're making in those relationships and things. So, I mean, our menu basically reads like you could write a bibliography and, you know, say these are Dirk's pigs and this is Daniela's tea.
We've got some great green teas here, but we're using something today that is so fragrant in this bacon martini. What is the syrup that we're using?
It's basically a simple syrup made from a Lapsang Souchong tea, so it's extremely smoky on the nose, and it's a very bright aroma. It's definitely a very distinct flavor profile and that kind of thing. Pairs beautifully with bourbon, as we found out.
Well, it's so interesting pairing teas with alcohol, whether it's, you know, white tea with gin. They really do have a flavor profile that suits the alcohol.
They do, and we have a huge, extensive tea program in the hotel, and with the liquor laws changing slightly in the past year and that kind of thing, we thought that it would be a good opportunity to just introduce another very food-friendly beverage option for people.
Let's start making it, Janis.
What are we making?
Where do we begin?
Okay, you can do this at home. This is not something that's terribly difficult.
Can I follow along with you?
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful.
So you basically take 5 or 6 basil leaves and just throw them into the bottom of your
Okay, we can share.
of your shaker there.
Okay, whole leaves. Do I muddle or anything?
Whole
or
leaves. You can just throw them right in. We will muddle in a moment. Bruise them up.
Okay.
And that really brings out the flavor and the fragrance.
Exactly. You don't want to go too far. You don't want to completely macerate it. You just want to let those juices out.
Okay.
Juices, come out.
And then you'll want to add like 3 or 4 teaspoons of our elixir, our Lapsang Souchong simple syrup that's got a little bit of maple syrup in it. So have another little swirl in there, yep. And then 2 ounces of your finest.
Oh, come on, Freeport, Janis.
But I've got these pretty shot glasses here, so I thought, I might as well put them together.
Plus, you're a professional, which makes a big difference as well.
And I'm dribbling all over the place.
Okay, no, I'll help you here.
Okay, Forbes has got it.
1, 2.
Wow, hey, you Irish by any chance? Tell us more about your wine list, because you're a sommelier as well, and you mentioned Victoria, and I think a lot of people really probably aren't that familiar with the Victoria wine industry.
Well, we've actually got quite a few island wineries. This year hasn't been the greatest growing season, so I'm thinking we're going to be doing a lot of rosé, but we do a really nice Pinot Gris on the island. We do a really nice, there's somebody growing Gruner Veltliner, which makes perfect sense when you think about the climate and all that kind of thing. But there's some really cool stuff coming off of the island, so lots of good dessert wines and that kind of thing. Yep, shake away.
You guys shake away.
If I look too much like Tom Cruise, please, just ignore that.
Really?
You don't think so? This one's a little bit darker than that one for some reason.
Some would put an olive, some would put an onion.
I think that this is perfect.
Love that.
The swine and vine.
Victoria, I love you. So Swine and Vine is happening which day on the weekend?
It's on Saturday the 23rd from 2 until 4:30 right here.
Hotel Grand Pacific in Victoria. You can go to the website to find out more information. I think this is the first bacon martini I have ever seen, and it is quite delicious looking. We're going to take a quick break and be back with more Urban Rush right after this. Don't go away.
Oh, yeah.